It's a secret, but it's an open secret. It's plain to all, but only a few see and understand. Then don't you understand this parable? Then how will you understand any parable? It's a secret, but it's an open secret. It's plain to all, but only a few see and understand. Then Jesus said to them, don't you understand this parable? Then how will you understand any parable? It's a secret, but it's an open secret. It's plain to all, but only a few see and understand. Then don't you understand this parable? Then how will you understand any parable? It's a secret, but it's an open secret. It's plain to all, but only a few see and understand. Then Jesus said to them, don't you understand this parable? Then how will you understand any parables?
Oh, goodness me. What a buffoon I've been. Talking without the microphone being on. Good to see General Griswold Gaius Grimm of the fourth LARP Gate Ingression Protocol hanging out in the hive mind, making it look easy. Glad you decided to hop on by the McMo Sunday chill stream. I'm glad you're here, everyone. And it's about time to get to some tunes, man. Been a while since we did tunes on the show. So let's do some tunes. This is a clip sent to me by Lance.
So a lot can be said about conviction, not arrogance, but you have to have the conviction to go for your destiny. So I was reading about that this morning, coincidentally, about star people. Star people they're like ascended beings, the transformers of consciousness, bringing new ideas, visions, and solutions, and inspire artists, musicians to elevate, transform, illumine consciousness to a higher state. They serve as conduits, mediums, and channels. They have special gifts and heavenly powers. Everyone's imbued with that, but I think that if you're not careful, the world will program you to be less than that.
Absolutely. Because everyone's got it. We're all
good to see you,
it.
James. Good to see you, CC. Good to see you, Mr. Gabriel Stuckey.
Beaten out of us, unfortunately.
How we doing out there on this chill Sunday? Making it as we speak, James. Making it as we speak, dude. So I got another. This clip is from RJ. RJ sent it to me.
There's a space between. What is intelligence? What is intelligence? What do you think is intelligence? The meaning of that word, if you looked into a good dictionary, etymological dictionary, it points out interleggere, to read between the lines. You understand? There is a space between the two lines. To read between the lines. That's one meaning. The other meaning is to gather information of every kind and to discern among the various information what is the correct information.
Yeah, apparently this is What is Intelligence
That
by J.
depends on
Krishnamurti.
choice,
RJ trying to get us
on
into the
one's
heathen
education,
waters.
on
It's
one's
fine.
way of life and so on. So there is the intelligence, there is the intelligence of the body. To let it alone, not take a lot of wine, alcohol, drugs, and liver. The intelligence of the body, if you let it alone, not take a lot of wine, alcohol. The body is an What is intelligence? What is intelligence? What do you think is intelligence? The meaning of that word, if you looked into a good dictionary, etymological dictionary, it points out interleggere, to read between the lines. You understand? There is a space between the two lines. To read between the lines. That's one meaning. The other meaning is to gather information of every kind and to discern among the various information what is the correct information. That depends on choice, on one's education, on one's way of life and so on. So there is the intelligence, there is the intelligence of the body. Right? No? Am I talking to your joint together? There's the intelligence of the body if you let it alone. not take a lot of wine, alcohol, drugs, and live according to taste, sensation, then the body loses its own intelligence. The body is an extraordinary instrument. Right? And all the nerves are connected to the brain. How the liver works. Follow? The heart. From the moment it is born till it dies, the heart keeps on beating. It's an extraordinary machine. Till it dies, the heart keeps on beating. It's an extraordinary machine. Right? It's the product of a million years. Right? Tremendous. Right? If you go into it, if you have seen some of the pictures, photographs, television in which they show them, it is amazing what nature has done through a million years or 2 million years. And we destroy the native intelligence of the body by doing all kinds of extravagant things. Drinking, sex has its place, but the whole issue of it.
Like always, if you've got something you think would go well here, send me a clip on Discord, but make sure you tell me in the chat that you sent me something, because if I don't see it, I won't see it. You gotta my eyes are locked on the chat.
a lot can be said about conviction, not arrogance, but you have to have the conviction to go for your destiny. So I was reading about that this morning, coincidentally, about star people. Star people they're like. Star people they're like ascended beings, the transformers of consciousness, bringing new ideas, visions, and solutions, and inspire artists, musicians to elevate, transform, illumine consciousness to a higher state. They serve as conduits, mediums, and channels. They have special gifts and heavenly powers. Everyone's imbued with that, but I think that if you're not careful, the world will program you to be less than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everyone's got it. We're all born with it. And some of us just get it beaten out of us, unfortunately.
Let's listen to the whole thing.
So a lot can be said about conviction, not arrogance, but you have to have the conviction to go for your destiny. So I was reading about that this morning, coincidentally, about star people. Star people they're like ascended beings, the transformers of consciousness, bringing new ideas, visions, and solutions, and inspire artists, musicians to elevate, transform, illumine consciousness to a higher state. They serve as conduits, mediums, and channels. They have special gifts and heavenly powers. Everyone's imbued with that, but I think that if you're not careful, the world will program you to be less than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everyone's got it. We're all born with it. And some of us just get it beaten out of us, unfortunately.
What is intelligence? What is intelligence? What do you think is intelligence? The meaning of that word, if you looked into a good dictionary, etymological dictionary, it points out interleggere, to read
I'll drop a
between
link.
the lines. Do you understand? There is a space between the two lines. To read between the lines. That's one meaning. The other meaning is to gather information of every kind and to discern among the various information what is the correct information. That depends on choice, on one's education, on one's way of life, and so on. So there is the intelligence, there is the intelligence of the body. Right? No? Am I talking to your joint together? There's the intelligence of the body if you let it alone. Not take a lot of wine, alcohol, drugs, and live according to taste, sensation. Then the body loses its own intelligence. The body is an extraordinary instrument. Right?
A lot can be said about conviction, not arrogance, but you have to have conviction to go for your destiny. So I was reading about that this morning, coincidentally, about star people. Star people they're like ascended beings, the transformers of consciousness, bringing new ideas, visions, and solutions that inspire artists, musicians to elevate, transform, illumine consciousness to a higher state. They serve as conduits, mediums, channels. They have special gifts and heavenly powers. Everyone's imbued with that But I think that if you're not careful, the world will program you to be less than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everyone's got it. We're all born with it. And some of us just get it beaten out of us, unfortunately.
don't trust him. There's a number of reasons I don't trust him. One is that, he basically lied about the gamer thing. But like a person who lies in small things will lie in big things. And I think that's more of a
if you were to believe what we
character
know about
that
now,
if he thinks the lie will get him, if he, it's like aliens justifies the ways, like if it will get did that world give him some
and still doing all these things.
probably during this
Rogan,
discussion, and then it wasn't
And,
verified until after the
I
election.
think the
That
Antichrist is
would spend
fractal,
hundreds of hours
like
leveling up
everything else
characters
around this
running like 6
place.
businesses.
and so it's in
So
each man's
I
heart
have many mixed
and all the way
emotions.
up.
Is it a situation like
Always happening in each choice we make,
Michael,
all the way up.
is Elon a tent builder, or is he kind of desecrating the temple?
Every level, including
I think he's trying to.
government tech wars and whatnot.
Okay, first of all, I gotta say, the desire to go to Mars is very autistic.
That was excellently said.
Frustration.
I did want to bring up
living
Lynn's
with a
comment
bunch of
and say
people
that
don't
yes,
make
we would
sense.
prefer
That makes a lot of sense.
a war criminal who could remember the crimes so that
And I
he
think
could feel
that that's
justified in
that,
punishing
but
them.
that's
But unfortunately,
extreme
I feel like we need to take it easy on Uncle Joe.
that
Neil, you have thoughts on Elon
talk about
being
what the effects of
ranked in
the
doom?
arena or whatever.
yeah,
The
I have a lot of mixed emotions about it.
the autistic person is the one is somebody that gets really is really powerfully affected.
But
There
there's
is
a part
this
of
sort
me
of gullibility that comes with that, and I think that, and also an intense desire for the effectiveness. So I think I'm all for him clearing out all of this stuff that basically it was all games that was being used by certain people against
Midwestuary 2025,
for their own
August
benefit.
22nd through the 24th.
And I think that's
In Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreer, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates. Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th.
Whoops. I almost played it twice there. We've got our first guest for. How are you, sir?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. To be honest, I got a little bit of the Sunday scaries today. I'm kind of like not looking forward to this week of work. It's probably going to be a little stressful week of work, but happy to hang out on the internet for a little while this afternoon and make some chill beats.
Yeah, that must be going around because I have been suffering from Sunday terrors as well. And haven't quite been able to shake it.
To be honest, doing these Sunday streams has helped me a lot. But now I feel like it's the Sunday streams have become so much a part of my routine that it's not alleviating that kind of like that anxiety of going back to the work week as much as it used to. I used to completely take my mind off of things, and these days, or at least I should say today, at least maybe it's not as much. But I whenever I get feeling like this, it's always very interesting because I'm like, why am I ruining my Sunday evening because of what's going to happen tomorrow? It's not like I'm like I could do some work after, like I could pull some overtime or something and like set myself up really nice. Like maybe that's what I should do if I was like the height of conscientiousness. But there's just other things I'd rather do. And And there's also maybe a little bit of a sadness that like as much as there might be an anxiety for tomorrow, I think overwhelmingly more there's a sadness or a bittersweetness of like the weekend coming to end.
I hear that. I hear that.
But that's why
Um,
it's good to just chill and hang out with bros and shoot the shit, you know?
yeah, I gotta report to you this. I don't know what you would call this. What kind of story? Like, I on the
A
surface,
special
it
news
doesn't really
report from
seem.
Tim.
Yeah, on the surface, it doesn't really seem to be affecting me too much, but I'm sure it's like burning away in the background. Um, like I had a bunch of like art and videography and like painting stuff on my main channel, and I recently took it all down except for the music to just make it strictly a music channel. And I've been meaning to upload, all that other stuff to a separate channel, and so I started a separate channel, um, and just had sort of analysis paralysis over like what to do and like finding all the old content on hard drives and shit. And eventually I found one of the videos that I wanted to re-upload. So I uploaded it on the new channel. It's something I worked on a couple years ago. I'm very proud of it. It's like a spoon carving video. Um, of just a little short film I did of a spoon carving club that my cousin belongs to or runs, and I uploaded it, and I thought, I'll post this to Reddit, um, to see if I can get some views and engagement. Uh, and I found a subreddit called Artisan Videos, right? And I look over the subreddit, and it appears to be exactly where this video should go. And I post it, and over the course of the day, like I post it in the morning, and over the course of the day, my phone just, I don't know, like every comment that I got uh, on the Reddit thread was, they weren't just negative, they were like hateful. Uh, like one guy, like
That's
the
horrible.
first one is, what a horrible video. I'm getting an echo. All right, it's gone.
My
And
bad.
then another person was like, my brother has been carving spoons of far higher quality for 10 years in his basement. He's never forced me to watch anything as, disgusting as this. And then another person wrote like, pretentiously shot, overcomplicatedly edited, and just like went down this list of like just picking it apart as being this like pretentious piece of trash. Um, and I couldn't believe it. I don't know. It's like initially I was like, oh yeah, it's just Reddit. It's a bunch of people that hate their lives. But then it was like comment after comment after comment, and I really started to like question myself, of like, did I produce a piece of trash? Because like up until that point, I was very proud of this video. Like I wrote a whole piece of music for it. It took me a while to edit it, and I don't know. I don't know what the climax of the story is, but I'm just like,
That
like
sucks, dude.
part, part, part of me is like, whatever, that's Reddit. Um, Part of me is kind of like, oh, that's a bummer. And then part of me is kind of also questioning like whether I have my finger, like, because I always think about like, do I know what's good? Like not necessarily like what people like,
Oh no,
because
they
I
have you
think what
question your taste. They have you question your taste, bro.
Yeah. And so like I've decided to just like let it go. Like I didn't get baited into like arguing with anybody. I didn't respond to any of the comments, even though I wanted to. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Either I mean, it's just kind of like I think the healthiest thing to do is to just take to derive no meaning from it whatsoever. It's just like out of the 3.9 thousand people that viewed the post, 250 of them watched the video or clicked on the video, and of those 250, 5 of them hated it. So like,
Yeah, what was your karma like on the post, you know?
it was up, it was up and down. I think it's sitting around like 11 right now.
Yeah, maybe you'll make it onto the top controversial or whatever. But that, we've got some numerous explanations from the hive mind coming in. Chris Howard getting as close to saying the F word as I've ever seen someone, saying fork that. Yon God saying negative comments are a psyop, bro. And then Grim is blaming the whole app. Reddit is evil sad maker. And then we got Pickens Choose saying the haters are always the most confident. It is true. Haters do love hating. I mean, what's interesting to me about that is like, I used to be on Reddit a lot, and it coincided perfectly with my entrance into psychedelics, you could say, or psychedelic aesthetics. And so it was a great place to do two things. One was to find free sample packs that I could use in my music, and another one was to just look at trippy visuals while I fell asleep, sad and depressed. But to Grim's point, I will say my like usage of Reddit has basically like coincided with the like the amount of time I've been in deep depression, which is just kind of interesting in a sense that like over time these different apps have kind of developed these, I don't know if it's right to say like the app has a personality, but it starts to feel like that, right? Like there's a vibe on Pinterest, there's a vibe on Reddit, there's a vibe on Twitter. There like each app kind of has its own vibe. And it does strike me that Reddit is a particularly nasty and negative bunch,
Yeah, I mean, one of the main like things that kept ringing in my head is like, I deserve this because I've done this to people, and I'm willing to admit that. Nasty comments on stuff that like,
dude, you put up your
whether I
hoodie
meant
and
it or
the
not,
quality
like I
of your
still
mic.
did it, and I try not to do it anymore. But
unfortunately, the like clear-headedness of that kind of self-awareness was totally outshined by the fact of when you covered up your like face, the quality on your mic got like 10 times better.
okay, hold on, I'm still not hearing you.
Uh-oh. You sound awesome, dude, but if you can't hear me, then that's an issue. Check 1 2. Maybe I'll play some branding. I mean, you've got me thinking at this point. I know you can't hear me yet, but at this point, I'm trying to think, when's the last time I was, negative posting? But in a time like this, seems like a perfect time for branding. Let's see. What's a good one that we haven't played in a while?
Tell me that you've lived here your whole life. No, not yet. Are you married? No bad habit. No bad habit, eh? Well, what do you chew that tobacco for? For nothing. Nobody's fool enough to pay me for it. Well, tell me, how far is it to the next crossroads? Follow your nose and you'll come to it. Follow your nose, follow your nose and you'll year your whole life. No, not yet.
Oh no, I need to remember to take off the loop, turn on the loop when we've got... Folks, I've got some sad news. Somewhere in the shuffle, we lost Tim, a.k.a. the Marylander. I think in the meantime, we should pull up the video on the spoon. We should see if we can find the video of the spoon. I'm sure it's impressive how our good friend Tim is not only great at music, not only an astute mind, not only is he strong and just a man of character, self-aware, he's also a great chef, a great photographer. He works with video. This is really a jack of all trades fellow we got going on. And I'm almost certain that Reddit is full of a bunch of talentless, depressed, lost and dying people of the world. Why is his channel not coming up for me? What's going on? Here, maybe I'll share my screen again and we can look together. Good grief. Thanks, Ruben Report. A good way to get an unsubscribe. Where is it? Hide? I can just hide? Do I have to go to his channel to unsubscribe? I can't believe he would post for the same thing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Oh, you couldn't even hear that. That was just for me. All right. Yeah, we're unsubscribing from the Rubin Report. I didn't even know I was still subscribed to the Rubin Report. No thanks. Unsubscribe. Subscriptions. I haven't lost the plot. Have you lost the plot out there? Have we lost the plot? My computer's struggling to keep up. All right, what do we got here, Pickens? A lot of people who act like experts have a very narrow band of stuff they can appreciate and simply can't hear/see what you're doing because it doesn't remind them of Lil Dum Dum. Well, that's very specific. I'm not familiar with the rapper known as Lil Dum Dum. And Tim just got to the dog park. Well, Tim, thanks for joining us, dude. That was I want us to find that the Rubin Report's still showing up in my subscriptions feed. Am I Lil Dum Dum? Is that my new rapper name? Lil Dum Dum? And now we just got Ari Shafir stuff. I must say, navigating the subscriptions is much easier on the phone. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just find it on my phone, and then it'll be in my history, and then I can watch it that way. It's interesting. Nobody's wanting to come on and chill, you know? You've got a weird algo. That wasn't even my algo, Jan. That was my that was my subscriptions that were doing me dirty like that. Isn't that crazy? That was my subscriptions doing me dirty. I probably do have a weird algo. You're distracting me. I'm trying to find the Marylanders video about carving a spoon. We're gonna watch it. You know, something sad did happen in my relationship with YouTube recently, and it was that they briefly offered me faster than 2 times speed, and I've been loving it. some people who speak slow, I can do 3x. Most people I can get away with like 2.5, 2.75. And I was really enjoying that flexibility, but now they say that they're going to take it back from me. They're not going to, it's not staying. At Ossify is the channel. Oh, am I not even subscribed to that one? That might be the reason why. Well, in that case, let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
As someone who learned English as a second.
Oh, you know what was also happening, Young God? I think that wasn't even my actual account. That was my like backup that I don't even ever use. That like was not my McMosav account. That might have been why it was weird too, because I haven't watched anything on it in like years. All right, it was at. Let's see. This algo might look a little better to you. I don't know. At Ossify. Ossify. At Ossify. Let's see. 15 subscribers. That can't be right. Ossify? Oh, I spelled it wrong. You guys are getting to see how big of an idiot I actually am. Live. Oh, wow. Great logo. It's behind my head. You guys can't see it. Look at that logo. All right. What I need to do is actually stop screen, share, present a different screen so you guys can hear it. We're watching it.
And I think
I
sometimes
mean, you might as well, right? You might as well step into life. It may have been an accident, a mistake, but stepping in is better than stepping away, even if you step in shit. Give me a second. I just realized I have another meeting I got to make sure I do.
What are we doing? I haven't posted it on the internet yet. There's still time to escape the catastrophe the eucatastrophe that this video is going to, and this camera never moves this much.
I wonder if it's when I do it or something. Maybe it triggers it.
No, it's far more demonic than that. Trust me, because
when it moves, the little green light is on me and it's watching me and it's taking careful notes. But dudes, stop it. Step away from the ledge. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. You're just on drugs. That's what I learned.
Well, folks, I think we have a clear verdict. I think the verdict is in. Reddit is tripping. They could not be more wrong about anything. That video was fucking sick. Shot beautifully. Scored immaculately. My only complaint was that it was not playing on an IMAX theater near me. My man. Incredible work from the Marylander. Incredible work. Holy cow. Well, folks, that was a treat. That was a delight. Yeah, that was really well done. Really well done, Tim. Please do not doubt your taste. Reddit is wrong. We're right. That slapped. The music was sick. Camera work was great. Color correcting, color coding, great. Pacing, great. You know, if this was if I was paid big money to critique it, maybe I could find something. But I wasn't paid big money for that. I was just enjoying the experience. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Grim does point out a very good problem with, a very true issue here. That he wasn't able to immediately order spoons. And we've got Joe in the house. And not only that, but we've also got Tim. He's back. What's up, Tim?
Hey,
What's
can
up,
you hear
Joe?
me?
Yep, we got you, brother.
My phone's about to die, but I just want to say, I appreciate the play.
Dude, that was sick. I love that you came in with a similar synth sound that you did on the Dune remix. And I was like, ooh, that's it, brother.
Yeah, I have some tried and true presets.
I was loving the music, man. Oh, sorry, I got your echoing again. That's my bad. That's on me, folks. That's on me.
It's all good. My phone battery's about to die, but I just want to say thank you for that. That was quite gracious of you, and I feel honored. Appreciate it.
Well, it was worth it to me to just show the whole world how wrong the taste of all of those folks in that subreddit. Get away from there, Tim. That is demon infested waters. They're lying to themselves and believing the lie, and so that's why they can't tell a good piece of music from a bad piece of music, a good piece of art from a bad piece of art, good carving, a good spoon from a bad spoon. Do you see what vitriol and hate gets you, folks? You can't even tell the difference between something that's fucking sick and something that's not. And woe be unto us if that is our fate. But yeah, thanks, Tim. I mean, honestly, thank you for sharing it with us. That was awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you. My phone's about to die, so I got to drop. But I'll catch you later.
Yes, sir. See you next time.
All right.
Joe, what's happening, brother?
Not much. Just wanted to hop on and say hi. And the video was awesome. The music was awesome, and I heard him say something about spoons, I think, like earlier, and I was like, well, spoons, But then they're making those the spoons with hatchets, and I was way more
Yep.
interested. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Grim makes a good point. Tim, please don't copyright strike me. I don't need that in my life. No, see, the thing is, Grim, is that was original music. Tim made all that music, so very, very cool. Very, very cool. Well, Joe, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but Dumir told me a little bit about what you two were up to. And I got to say, very, very interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about it yet, but I just wanted to let you know, since I haven't talked to you outside of the stream. But I think that's pretty cool. Suffice it to say, folks, big things happening in the world behind the scenes. Big ideas starting to percolate. Big moves fixing to be made.
Yeah, probably not in motion enough quite yet to talk about it openly, but yeah, it is happening.
Yeah, it's. Once you guys find out what these boys got planned, you guys are gonna giggle to yourselves, just like I did when I heard about the whole plan. Well, Joe, what's been on your mind, brother?
Well, mostly that stuff, which, yeah, I can't really talk too much about that, so I don't know. I enjoyed the general's video to Peterson. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, he had some critiques of Peterson, eh?
Oh yeah, it was well done, well done. And he had some great points as usual.
Did we ever get the whole scandal of the similar forehead debacle figured out?
I don't know, but I thought it was funny. I don't really get it, but probably makes
Graham,
sense.
did you ever get that figured out, brother? If my memory serves me correct, our courageous general may have found other things to do in Tarpon Springs other than introduce himself to one Jordan B. Peterson.
What's a phrenologist?
I think there's some cats on your Discord now, brother, that might be more than willing to hook you up with some phrenology, brother. Phrenology is like you look at the way that like somebody's skull is formed, basically, and that can tell you things about their race and about their genetics and et cetera, et cetera. Oh, and he's also got the name thing. I forgot about that. You're right, General. You're right.
Oh, yeah, you cut out there, but I got the skull part. That's probably the important part.
Uh-oh. Riff Raff assembled on the Discord? No, not Riff Raff. I think valuable wells of information that can give you could probably, I mean, just more than me at least. I'm not a phrenology expert, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are folks in the Discord who have stared into that particular abyss, I haven't. All I know is I have a giant head. Well, this is chill.
So ask somebody to hop on. Maybe somebody would have something to say. I don't know. I can't really think of much.
Pretty blank. LOL. You had to type that out. You typed out that you were blank? You were literally like, I have this emotion inside of me. I need to get it out. And you were like, my mind is blank. Yep.
Let's just
moment of
sit
silence.
quietly and contemplate God.
Yeah. Moment of silence. Moment of silence.
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard.
Griff harder, griff harder. Griff harder, griff harder. Griff harder, griff harder.
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard.
Griff harder, griff harder.
That was a McMo one, I think. I believe that was a McMo masterpiece. I think that was his stylistic impression, signature thereof. Okay.
Folks, when we don't have anything to say, we can always grift. Right now, I've got a goal on my Ko-Fi link. Forget what I said in the Ko-Fi app. I still haven't gone and changed that out. It's really my goal for Northwestuary. Midwestuary, not Northwestuary. Midwestuary. Midwestuary. I want to go there. Joe might be there. Jonathan Dumire might be there. General Grimwald Grizz might be there. Chad, Lord willing, will be there. Neil, Lord willing, will be there. Tayo, from across the pond. Getting a little late in the evening to have Tayo around. He's firmly slumbered off to sleep. The sun has made its travels for the day and slipped behind the western line. It's America's problem now, that sun of ours. And so Tayo lays calmly and sweetly asleep in his bed in Manchester, England. Maybe he'll never see this, but he'll be there at Midwestuary. And there's lots of talks. Matt C. going to be there. Cale Zeldin, he's one of the main speakers. He's like one of the top dogs now. Cale Zeldin going to be there. President Foxman says, I may. He may be there. Joe, do you know the dates of Midwestuary?
I do not. I would be
well,
guessing.
That means we got
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th.
That was my guess.
August 22nd to the 24th. What was that date? August 22nd to the...
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Elm.
August 22nd through the 24th. Maybe you get there before. Maybe you spend some time in Chi-Town before. Maybe you stay a little late. You know, maybe you take a little tour around Chicago, get that weird pizza they got up there. Maybe you take a trip to the big old shiny bean. See what you look like in the reflection of a giant bean. You know, maybe you go find a place to park and you just watch one of the busiest and largest airports in the whole entire world. Uh-oh. Here we have the villain of the Discord calling us to remove the V&A bubble. We have the Argentinian Scorpion, the Kenny G of South America, the man who does not believe he is a man but merely a part of a larger community, the man with a name, but that name references nothing because he doesn't believe in individuals. It's one of my best good friends on the internet who does not live in America. One of my best friends in the whole world, of whom I can barely understand what he says half the time. It's my good pal Nico. How are you, sir?
Hey, John.
If you had been wearing sunglasses, I wouldn't have done all that to you, you know?
Yeah. I think today I'm more of a chill mood. Blue glasses are for more of a cool mood.
Praise God, man. Praise God.
I'm hoping you're not getting the rain hitting on my roof.
We getting it. It's kind of nice though.
Okay, I'll try to mute if I'm not talking.
I don't mind it. I really don't mind it.
Something pretty loud.
So you
right
got a
now.
nice rainy day in Argentina. Wow. Did you go to church today?
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was very noble sordo.
Was it really Latin mass, huh?
Not today, no. Had a barbecue, I guess would be the correct translation.
A cookout.
With the family. So I couldn't go to the other mass, so I had to do with the noble sordo stuff.
Ah.
And the priest going all charismatic and walking up and down the hallways. It's okay, it's okay.
Well, tremendous restraint. Tremendous restraint. Honestly, the question I want to ask you is like, what do you do to relax when it rains in Argentina? Are you just a computer critter? You just get on your computer and stay on your computer all day?
Yeah, pretty much. Especially since now I'm doing so much work in the computer. If I had my work supplies with me, maybe I could do something more.
You should share your screen. You can maybe not today. I don't know if the vibes are right today. In the future, we should do a joint stream where you can share yours. I'll work on the music and host the stream. You can be drawing something, we can be arguing about something, and we can both be like making a piece of art at the same time, you know, like you could make a drawing, I can make a piece of music, and the whole time we could argue. That would be a pretty cool I think that'd really get the Ko-Fi donations coming in, you know. Nico, are you going to make it to Midwestuary? Are you going to get your scrawny little behind on a airplane and fly up to the capital of the empire?
No, sorry. I that's like a 8-hour-long flight.
Lots of time to read. You could take a nap in that time too.
Yeah, also lose some money. Yeah.
We're just going to have to grift. We're going to have to grift for Nico. You know, that's the thing. If I grifted it for you, would you go? Like, if we could get the loving members of TLC to pay for it, would you go? That's the question.
If you pay for the expenses, yeah, sure.
Well, there we go, folks. There we go. He said it. If you want to get Nico if you want to get Nico to Midwestuary, you know what to do. Hit that Ko-Fi link. Donate to my Ko-Fi. Get me there, and then I can grift for Nico. Right now, I got to grift for myself and my wife. You know, this is ordered loves. You know, you first have to grift for yourself. You have to put on your oxygen mask on yourself before you can help the person next to you. And I have to grift for myself before I can grift for Nico. So if you want me to stop grifting for myself, donate to my Ko-Fi, and then I'll be able to grift for Nico. And I know. I would stream for 24 hours to get Nico to Midwestuary. And I'm not just saying that. I would probably do that. I would do it, folks. I would stream for 24 hours. I would pull a Lance. Maybe Lance would help me do it, and then I wouldn't have to actually stay up for the full 24 hours. I think we might need a marathon stream to get Nico and Tunji. Oh my goodness, there's just too many people, folks. If you want me to do a midnight stream for somebody, donate to my Ko-Fi. I'll take the bids. You know, if you think that you could make it worth my time to do a 24-hour stream for Nico, Tunji, any other folks, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll take a sick day. I'll do it. Oh, this is fun. Hey, Rigel, good to see you in the comments, sir. Feel free to come on and play. We're just chilling today. I'm personally searching for a topic of conversation so that I don't have to be spinning the plates here on my own. Got two world-class introverts with me on the Mick Mo stream this week. Both feeling a little talked out, but came because of their friendship with me, making me feel virtually not alone. Meanwhile, I'm here going pure profilicity.
I think we could find something. And also, I wouldn't have a problem with the streaming. I hope. Look who's here.
It's
You guys-
the girl, Dad.
You guys gotta let me know if I start skipping or something. If I start going, robot. You know, hi.
It's not skipping. It's just modernity. The transhumanist nanobots.
Look at us skipping through modernity. What are you guys doing?
Dude, we're just chilling. I kind of got the beat made pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe joined me. Tim joined us for a little while. We watched one of his videos that got trashed on Reddit. But everybody on Reddit is dumb and wrong. So, it was fun for us to watch a really beautiful work of art that the idiots over on Reddit had nothing but hate and, self-hate, really, kind of coming and being projected on our poor, sweet Tim.
What was it, the spoon video?
It was, in fact, the spoon video.
That's a great video.
It was a great video. I'll never look at a spoon the same way.
Tim's got a real beautiful eye. He's got a good eye for beauty, I think.
Yeah. Incredible artistic work. Like, I went to film school and I saw stuff much, much, much worse than that. I'll tell you that. That would have been, I don't want to like blow smoke up Tim's ass and say that it would be like the best thing that came into the class or whatever. But that's at the same level of my friends who are now doing videography work professionally. Like, Tim is a professional level skill. So that's just cool. That was cool for me to see. Like, I didn't, it's just crazy because I think of Tim as a super talented guy, and then it's like, the longer I know him, the more talents he kind of puts forth. So very, very cool. But Chad, welcome, brother. How are you? What's on your mind?
Good. I don't blow smoke either. I quit smoking. So, and I certainly ain't gonna chew up his ass. So that's there. Now if you want to hear more great stuff like that, give to the Ko-Fi, McMosive Ko-Fi for shitty.
Yeah,
bad.
donate to my Ko-Fi. Maybe me and Chad will do a after dark stream just for the Ko-Fi members, and we'll say all the dirty curse words we know.
Those were curse words? Oh.
Well, I don't know. We could just get down and dirty,
What is Nico? What are you drinking? Is that whiskey?
No, it's just coffee.
Oh, okay.
Just coffee. We have our atheish friend, James. How are you, sir? Are you sending your minions over here? Are you trying to colonize my Christian absurdist streams with very friendly and intelligent atheists? What's going on, man?
You're on to my fiendish plot. Absolutely. Guilty as charged. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Awesome.
Your image kind of looks like James Fry a little bit, but it's hard for me to see because my eyes are really bad. For some reason, my eyes have gotten really bad over the last week, but
yeah,
I don't know if you've ever read any
As soon as you became a dad, dude, your eyes went to crap.
Yeah, I don't know how to make it any bigger, so I'll have to look up James Fry.
Yeah, he wrote like A Million Little Pieces. My Friend Leonard. What was the other one? The Morning.
Let's give the people a look at James's avatar here.
No, he doesn't look like James Fry.
Oh, you got a closer view? Decided against it.
Yeah, but you're a handsome guy. You might not be a James Fry, but you're a handsome guy.
Sure, but who is?
Give that money to that Ko-Fi link.
Chad, you're taking away my job, man. If you grift for me, I don't have to grift for myself. I appreciate it, man.
Bro, I've been grifting for others since way back, bro.
You are the like OG of grifting only and exclusively for other folks.
That's like the fun part of it.
Yeah. The fun part of it for me is I get to get it out of my system. You know, if I just do it in the most like garish and annoying way possible, it's funny to me. But if I were to like really come hat in hand and be like, please, you know, wide open internet, this is important to me. If you find it in your hearts, donate, you know.
For $50, you will get these wonderful ho 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 glasses. If you donate $50.01 to the McMosive Ko-Fi. So that's a challenge. I mean, you might get them in the mail, you might not. Probably won't.
You know what I need? I need one of those like felt, or I wish I had somebody I could hire who could make me like a progress bar to show up on the side of my screen so that it like as the donations came in, it would like go up higher. I really think that would really add to the grift.
Oh, bro, we could do that. We could do one, but like it's totally not real. It's just a kayfabe bar, and it's just kind of always like, you know,
on the get closer to the top, and it never gets there. It's like Schrodinger's temperature. All right, James, they're already peppering you with questions. Chris wants to know: do you know anything about phrenology?
I don't. I just now had to look it up to see even what it was.
Oh no! No!
It looks like the study of people that have maps tattooed on their head.
That's exactly right.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's something about like skull shape and size or something relating to like a personality thing.
Yeah, that's like it turns out to be outdated and racist or something.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that's like a dog whistle, apparently.
It was really popular here in Argentina.
But it's very fraught waters though, right? Because there is a sense in which like sometimes you can just tell by looking at somebody like what kind of person they are. And so what are you just supposed to ignore that? Like you know, like I could tell by Nico's mustache that he's the type of person, you know, that you shouldn't trust at first, but once you get to know him and understand that he is just a really good-hearted dude, that's when you should trust him. But like, there's signals, right? Like, I feel like you'd be a fool not to recognize those instincts. Am I tripping?
I mean,
am I like the Redditors that talk to Tim? Am I just completely wrong?
So now on to like the topic of the Redditors on Tim. Like to me, trolling is still a thing that I really wrestle with, as far as like the motives behind it. It really weirds me out because like I don't understand it exactly. I just don't, because I like part of me feels like there's no way these people actually think this stuff that they say.
I wonder if the thing keeping you from understanding it is the fact that you basically have lost your cool in public before. That you're kind of not somebody who just bottles it up forever and ever and ever and it never gets out. Like you have a pretty like transparent, assessment of those types of situations, which I is one of the things I think a lot of people like about you. But I wondered, the only reason I bring that up is because I wonder to what extent these people are like just the types of like hyper agreeable folks that just go throughout their lives, real life, just always saying yes sir and yes ma'am, never stepping out of line, never hurting anyone's feelings, never saying what they actually think. And then they get into this arena where they can be completely anonymous, and it's like playing GTA 5, but it's even more exciting because you have the opportunity to like, oh, there's somebody on the other end of the line whose feelings might actually get hurt. So I might be more powerful than and so there's this dynamic of, and you can start getting off on that, right? Where it's like you become the person in the corner of the meme where it's like everybody in this party thinks I'm just like this meek and mild little nothing, but if they only knew that I was really this like highly intelligent and powerful manipulative being that could just really get under anybody's skin. Like I'm actually like a bad guy, like Taylor Swift says, you know,
Yeah, it makes me kind of think of like some version of like like Ted Kaczynski or Jeffrey Dahmer on the internet.
Yeah, it's evil, it's demonic,
Mhm.
it's people at their worst, it's sin, like this is yeah, if you think that you can just stay on the internet and that like you're going to escape ethics or you're going to escape the kind of moral imperative or any of your worst tendencies in real life, then you're just wrong. Like the internet is not a safe place for you to be the worst version of yourself. Like that is some like Generation X latchkey kid bullshit, as far as I can see.
as a Generation X, I approve this message.
Nice. To approve this message further, go and give that money to that Ko-Fi link.
Hey, Christian Baxter in the house. Welcome, Christian.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah.
Do you guys agree with the definition of troll, of like internet troll, that isn't entirely negative? Because I heard people say that before, and the way I have always understood it is that a troll is always ill-intended. I never saw someone talk about trolling in a good way, other than
I like to think of myself as a troll for the good. There's an interesting. I would put me, Yon God, and T-Grog on a troll spectrum. Like this is if you're familiar with the 9 square. What are those called? One of you nerds will know more than me. Like, what is it called? Where you've got like a chaotic good, neutral. What is this called? The alignment map, something like that.
Yeah, it's the D&D.
Yeah, the D&D alignment map. So I like to think of myself as the chaotic good. I like to think of Yon God as the chaotic neutral, and I like to think of T-Grog as the chaotic evil.
There needs to be a personality test we can take for that, because I don't even know where I land. But it does remind me of the Wizard of Oz. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Are you a good troll or a bad troll?
Well, so it's interesting because I guess in the corner, it's an interesting arena to like watch a lot of different things happen. So once in a while, you'd see like real trolls come in and like really troll. And then like, cause sometimes I've been known to in the live chats, like if there's a live stream and then there's a live chat to me is an interesting place because it's kind of like, what is that? Space Theater 3000 meets banter. And so it's like, it's not a place for intelligent conversation necessarily. And then when you get into the comments, in the comment section, that's more where you can get kind of like, that's where a troll can really do some interesting work, I think. But they also do like, where I get pissed off about trolls is when like racism gets brought into it and things like that. That really gets under my skin. Only because I don't understand I don't understand it. But so yeah, there's a difference between, I think, playful trolling, which is more like banter, and then malicious trolling, which is, I need to feel better about myself, so I'm going to try to kneecap people wherever I get an opportunity because I hate myself. And then there's just kind of like intelligent comments. But yeah, I mean, I've been a little bit of a banterish troll but only with people that I generally talk to often. So like you wouldn't find me in some strange live stream somewhere that I've never been doing that. I wouldn't do that, I don't think.
Chad, interesting thoughts. Unfortunately, the hive mind is going insane right now. We've got Chris Moore from yesterday. We've got everybody's saying that my alignment chart was bullshit because T-Grog he's not chaotic, and then we've got RJ saying ordered neutral sounds pretty Christian absurd. Good grief. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the hive mind, but I just wanted to make everybody aware of that, and now continue, please.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know, man. I just
Yeah,
thought
but what kind of thing would like a good troll? Because usually, when people started getting into forums and that kind of things for the first time, completely unaware about internet trolling, they would, get caught in a trap by the troll, and then people would chime in and say, don't feed the trolls, and try to explain to them that there is a kind of game being played. But if there was like a good outcome to that, what kind of thing would like a good troll do? I don't know. I don't think. I always think about trolling as a very specific action. Maybe this is a more broad thing. I don't know.
Yeah. What is a troll? That kind of. That's the question, huh, Nico? What is a troll?
Well, what does it do? Because if people go into a forum and they start arguing with each other, and they have beef, and they pester each other, that's not trolling. That's just people being.
Grim says that you can tell a troll because people in the chat start adding them. So there's a certain amount of attention seeking, perhaps, in troll behavior, like that is what they're going after, is the attention. They want the people to start adding them. So is there therefore a good way to steal attention? Is that something that one could do and remain in quote unquote the good?
I wonder where the word troll originates, because to me it would be an interesting thing to see. My assumption is that it's tied to some sort of medieval mythology. What is that?
They waited below bridges, right? Something like that.
Etymology of troll. How pedantic this shit is. Okay.
You want to share your screen?
I'm on my cell phone. Yeah, here. Yeah, let me do it on here. It's a good idea. Let's go on share. Wait.
Yeah, trolls are kind of like orcs but bigger.
Here, I'll share screen.
Trolls are like orcs but bigger. Are we talking Harry Potter trolls, or are we talking Lord of the Rings trolls?
Screen.
Well, I think both work the same in this case.
There we go.
Right? If I'm remembering right.
All right.
I think they need the same
thing. We got early 17th century from Old Norse and Swedish troll, Danish trolled, the first English use, Shetland. The term was adopted more widely into English in the mid-19th century. Let's go to my favorite etymology site, which is this one. All right. Go about, stroll, wander. Also, roll from side to side, trundle. Okay, so this is a different kind of wander, go in quest of game without purpose. Whoa. That seems more, that's
Isn't
interesting.
That like strolling? Like going on a stroll?
Yeah. Sense of singing in a full rolling voice, troll, troll, a noun, a supernatural being in Scandinavian mythology and folklore, 1610s, with an isolated use mid 14th century. Yeah. Giant being not of human race, evil, spirit, monster. Some speculate that the origin meant creature that walks clumsily and derives Proto-Germanic Trizolan. Okay. Well,
you have to search into one of those old fairy tales, I think basically what they did is that they ate people.
Let's go back here once, because this is always a fun thing for me to do. I haven't done this for a while. Are we still sharing?
And they
Oh,
turn
yep.
into stone pink also.
Yeah, but
All
it
right.
looks like James wants to
Well-
share something too.
Trolls can stand the light.
I want to do this. Right here we go. Oh, now we're working. Now we're cooking with gas. Use of troll over time. All right, come on, bring me down here. I want to let me scroll.
Troll scroll.
You bastard. Come on, bitch.
In the meantime,
Anyhow.
James wants to share something as well. We'll come back to yours, Chad.
Okay. All right.
All right, so this is in reference, and I've been trying the last few minutes to figure out a way to make this work in StreamYard. But this is when you guys were talking about how you talk a certain way with friends that you're familiar with, right? You just talk shit because they're your buddies. You can do that. And that got me thinking about this scene from Demolition Man.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Uh-oh. I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, you can't hear it.
You'll have to turn on the volume, I think, on your thing.
Yeah, well, I'll try again later, then it's fine.
That's a classic movie, though. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's
that's
a really good
good.
movie.
Yeah.
But it looks like the word troll, anyways, has been used far more, recently than it's an historical. Yeah,
it kind of makes sense. Because it became popular with the internet.
No. What up, dude? Oh, did something just drop? Oh, make most of you doing your thing. I see. Let's see.
No. I'm to troll.
Oh, it was used a lot in 1624. Anyhow.
Well, in any case, the way I have always understood it is that troll isn't just anybody who's being bothersome or anything. I understood it as a very particular behavior of trying to bait you into overreacting, or wasting your time. So nothing that the troll says is sincere. None of the points are sincere. He's just trying to bait a reaction because they enjoy you getting angry and getting mad. So when I heard people start talking about trolling in a positive way, I couldn't figure out what they meant.
So they're assuming a sincere position in the authoritative role of a troll. Makes sense.
It's kind of synonymous with like gaslighting, right? Like it's like which kind of, and they kind of have like a deceptive. There's like a deceptive. There's a deceptive aspect, I think. It's key.
I wanted to point to the aspect of it that was like, it's almost like Eve and Adam. Like there's a help against, like there's an equal role for an antagonist and a protagonist. And sometimes in a story, the antagonist can actually be the best friend of the protagonist, and there can be much love between the two, and they don't even have to have kind of negative emotions towards each other. But there's just this sense in which one person is going one way, and the other person's actions are kind of. I feel like there's a John Vervaeke word for this, but I can't remember it. Like this is. I thought you guys were all the like tension lovers, right? Like this is holding things in tension, right?
Tonas. Is that the word for tension? Tonas.
Yeah.
Tension.
Also kind of reminds me of like a.
Guys, Tayo is awake. I thought he
Well,
would be asleep, but he's awake.
he's not in the stream though.
What you said about that, Mo, also reminds me of like like that feminine role, like of the questioning or something. It's like, posing questions, something. I didn't particularly join to talk about. I just joined. I didn't have anything sort of to say about trolls.
It's interesting. All of this stuff has kind of been covered a little bit this morning on Chris Howard's show with Mark S. All these topics, very interesting.
I listened to that. I'm not seeing the same connection. What are you seeing, Chad?
Well, especially when Jonathan just brought up the feminine questioning thing, it wasn't the exact thing, but like there's some threads that are like more cobwebby that are crossing, so that's interesting. I don't know, man. I'm a little rusty. Just don't listen to me. I'm just here to say hi.
Chris Howard, but I did not call. I think I will look it up.
Oh, you don't know Chris Howard, Jonathan? He's the guy who does almost every single morning he streams unless Chad is streaming, and he reads the Alcoholic Anonymous devotion for the day, and then he just kind of talks, and it reminds me so much of when I was growing up. My granddad would go to Hardee's. He would ride his bike to Hardee's and eat a sausage biscuit. And Chris Howard he's in the chat right now. He's got expertise in radio frequencies and owning the airwaves of a certain AM frequency, which I think is very cool. And him and Mark Parker, they had a great stream the other night. That was like
yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen him, but I don't know if I've seen his channel or something.
Yeah, that's a must check out. You must check that out.
Yeah, put that down. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So I don't know about there is definitely a tension. And there is kind of a lesson. That's why everybody jumps on on people that are getting trolled, and they tell them not to feed the troll. So there is definitely a lesson there, but I don't know if the whole idea is to teach somebody a lesson. I guess the stereotype is that the person who is getting trolled is a little too serious. Maybe seen a bit from pride or something like that, which is why they fall for the trolls.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think part of it is that a lot of times somebody that wants to troll somebody else feels like the person that they're about to troll is being whiny and squeaky and weak and vulnerable and pathetic. And so but even if the cause is just, right, and this whiny, squeaky person is complaining about a just cause, the person that wants to do the trolling wants to separate themselves from the complaint. They want to delegitimize the entire complaint by thinking of it in terms of the trolling person is like a wolf. The squeaky person is like the rabbit that keeps complaining that he's getting nipped at by wolves. And so when you think of it that way, you don't have to really engage with the substance of the complaint that you're trolling, because you're just completely delegitimizing the entire platform that stands beneath you, if that makes any sense.
Kind of reminds me of the word teasing, and also in keeping with the stuff about it maybe being like the more role of like Eve, kind of the questioning, like I don't know, I'm reminded of like how there can be malevolent kind of feminine manipulation, and then like benevolent or something, almost like teasing in a, like, there's, when you're in a real close brotherly relationship, there can be like kind of teasing, trolling, where there's actually like a productive, almost an expression of love, but then, so I feel like it's almost like very circumstantial, it's like it could go either way or something.
Yeah, somebody else in chat mentioned earlier that trolling is a spectrum. And of course, it has a lot to do with your intent and your relationship to the person you're trolling.
So do trolls generally attack ideas rather than people?
I think sometimes they attack the person to avoid engaging with the ideas.
Yeah, I would say the opposite.
Or
Because
sometimes the other way around. I can see either way.
It's the term that's coming to my mind is guerrilla mind control.
Yeah.
I'm usually the bitchy, whiny dude who's like, "Oh, I'm a bleeding rabbit. Stop it, wolf."
No, I remember we did it.
No, well, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember we did I made a little clip from one of our conversations actually called gaslighting. I could probably share it, actually. I remember.
Yeah, share it. Just make sure you share the audio. We're watching stuff today. That would be great, especially since your channel's gone and we can't go back and watch it without you on my stream.
Let me see.
Just don't give me a strike, you know.
Let me see if I can find.
All right. Well, you know what? This is as good a time as any. You know, it's about that time. So I'm going to play this and then filibuster until Jonathan shares the screen.
Exploring the philosophy of Søren Kierkegaard.
Let's see if I can summon McMo. Kierkegaard.
You summon McMo. All you have to do is say Kierkegaard.
Talk about Kierkegaard. So.
Søren Kierkegaard was a brilliant, gloomy, anxiety-ridden, often hilarious Danish 19th century philosopher.
Kierkegaard's philosophy is a reaction to the Hegelian synthesis. What makes Kierkegaard a precursor to existentialism is that he holds the view that there is no criterion for making this decision. In other words, he faces us with the grim, the horrifying reality of criterionless choice. Make a decision. You have no standards upon which to make a decision. Good luck.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about what Kierkegaard means when he's saying that, but
I really like him. I find him really fascinating. He's certainly one of the funniest, and he has a thoroughly morbid sense of humor. There's so few philosophers with a good sense of humor. Kierkegaard is one of them. So, and you also have no choice about whether you make a decision or not. You must decide. Best of luck. So Kierkegaard leaves us adrift. He cuts us off from our moorings to rationality because he says there is no possible rational decision procedure which could give you grounds for choosing the moral or the aesthetic life. If you want to say that you develop some rational theory which shows you that only the rational life is the good one, you are presupposing what you are trying to prove. If you did presuppose that rationality would be our guide, then what would you say?
Thomas Aquinas wouldn't call you virtuous for staying up all night tracking glacial melts and green. But for many philosophers, including Kierkegaard, anxiety is a foundational human experience.
Nothing. The vast silence of human existence becomes very, very clear when Kierkegaard begins to meditate and think deeply about the choices that human beings must, by virtue of the human condition, make.
I'm anxious, and I'm not alone. For example, you guys ever think that some of your friends are only still friends with you because they've been friends with you and actually don't like you and nobody protects my back, and they talk about why they don't like you and everything to do with them? You're just thinking like, am I not right? And I actually have friends?
Søren Kierkegaard is best known as the father of existentialism.
Is there a mood that expresses the human condition more than any other? For Søren Kierkegaard, that mood is indeed anxiety. And
by Søren Kierkegaard. Søren Kierkegaard was a Danish philosopher, European poet, social critic, and religious author.
For Søren Kierkegaard, whose Kierkegaard's philosophy is very theistic and more specifically very Christian, so much so that he might well be considered more of a Christian theologian than a philosopher.
But to understand both Pascal and Kierkegaard, we also need to focus on a more concrete issue than the issue of reason. We need to focus on the issue that was the central issue to both Pascal and Kierkegaard, which was Jesus Christ himself. Very few establishment scholars of either Pascal or Kierkegaard today dare to do that. They either ignore or patronize that focus and that center. Thus, they radically misunderstand both of these two philosophers. They were existentialist Christians, not Christian existentialists. For both, Christ was not an adjective but a noun.
So we've got ourselves into a really stupid corner. Right now, that goes without saying.
All right, so I've revved myself up, so I really do need to bring in Kierkegaard. This is my channel, so I have the right, especially still if Jonathan is searching. So there's a lot to be said in terms of bringing Kierkegaard to bear on the question of, is there anything good that can come from a troll? And it starts with his early works where he writes pseudonymously. And he later kind of justifies his pseudonymous works as saying he's wanting you to think less about the authority or the expertise of the author who's writing. And he wants you to really have to grapple with these ideas in themselves. And so I think that there's an aspect of the troll that's wanting to say, like, yes, I might be annoying, but you need to think about what I'm saying because it's important for you. And I'm delivering it in this way so that it jostles you and provokes a certain type of anxiety so that you have to come to grips with the kind of existential reality that you find yourself in, which is you're on the internet submitting yourself to the wolves. And so there's that aspect of things. Hold on. That's only half of the rant. But ultimately, I don't think we can talk about trolling without talking about Christ's subversive nature and the way in which Christ, when he is in front of the Pharisees, when he has one-on-one conversations, when he's with his disciples, it's very rare that Christ is taking a type of completely pro what you're thinking position. He's very, very often provoking. He's very, very often saying the thing that's offensive. I would in like because of Kierkegaard would want to point to that kind of. I think that we have a predisposition to kind of see right off the troll as necessarily evil because they necessarily provoke a type of anxiety within ourselves and a type of instability and a type of chaos that is, that we instinctively kind of, it charges our amygdala and we fight or flight against it,
I don't know. I think the big thing is kind of like if it's like it could go either way. Like it could be a malevolent thing, or like it could be done from a place of love or something. Like, but it's like I don't know if we would still use the word trolling. Maybe it would be more like teasing or something. I don't know. Suppose in the end we all have our definition. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be a fruitful conversation about maybe the difference between trolling and teasing. I think I often find myself wanting to have that conversation in terms of like rhetoric, in terms of like what is the right word to get the idea across. If there's too much negative valence then in a certain term, then yeah, like politically maybe it would be better to use a different term. But I'm not sure that you can think of it as teasing, you can think of it as trolling. I think what I'm wanting to point to is that kind of heightened anxiety in the person who's receiving the trolling, and the provocation and the pointing towards kind of the idea rather than the identity, due to the kind of anonymity factor that we find on online.
Yeah, that reminded me of, I think it was Bergson, or one of those more processed theologian types who said that you can learn nothing about them. I think this was an extreme statement, probably not the case, that you can learn nothing about about someone's philosophy by looking at them as a person. Like, I think he also had some skeletons in the closet, as it were, but I think it was also like, it's definitely the case. Like, he was this very popular philosopher, like such that he would draw these massive crowds, kind of like a famous person, and like and he was like, people are so interested in my life that they never actually think about what I have to say, and I can definitely see that
Yeah, Kierkegaard would call that a skill issue.
A what issue?
A skill issue. You literally just put a different name on the book.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
What I want to know what Nico, James, Chad, and Joe think about that. Jonathan, are you going to hook us up with this video or not?
Yeah,
bro?
I got I had to re-upload it to YouTube because
oh, I see.
I
see.
I do.
Well, yeah, I'd love to hear anybody else's thoughts while you're pulling it up. And yeah, as soon as you share it, I should get the little notification, so we'll watch that. But I want to make sure everybody else is getting their 2 cents in.
Yeah.
Well, I find there is something interesting there in the stereotypes that are live around the idea of trolling. So one of the things is about who is the kind of person that falls for trolling, and another is who is the kind of person who does either a lot of trolling or enjoys trolling a lot, which usually the idea is that, or the stereotype is that the person being trolled is someone who is sincere, and the person who is doing the trolling is a kind of internet detached person that understands the nature of the internet, while the other person is kind of a newbie. They bring in the things they understand from the real life into the internet, which is the mistake that supposedly the troll takes advantage of. Because, of course, there's a bunch of elements in real life, like you can get punched in the face, which doesn't exist in the internet, which then creates different dynamics. and the point is that this person is unaware of it. Maybe should be aware of it. Should have thought about it maybe more deeply. It is the kind of the stereotype. So there seems to be kind of like a fight between sincerity and detachment. But I don't think it ends there. But I think it's interesting that is a big stereotype around trolling. Because that's kind of like a defense that a lot of trolls use to justify their trolling also. But then you have to take into account the other stereotype, which is that people who troll a lot are kind of these small people that are dissatisfied with their own life or their own achievements, and they derive pressure from making somebody else's day bad. There is this scene in anime I watched recently that there is this guy that is very dissatisfied with his life, maybe what some people would call a loser, and then he takes out a knife, and then he stabs the car's I'm thinking of wheel, but it's not the wheel in English. The tire. He stabs the car's tire. Just some random car on the street. It wasn't some random car. It was an expensive car. And the car being expensive, somebody having something nice is what bothered him. And stabbing the tire, ruining that person's day, because of the idea is that if they can afford such a car, they wouldn't be it wouldn't be too much of an expense to fix the tire, but they get this little bit of enjoyment out of ruining that person's day. That's the kind of the stereotype of the troll.
It reminds me of that word from Henry Rollins, jouissance. It's like the enjoyment, and like people get enjoyment in like different contexts, and like sometimes people get enjoyment in argument and stuff like that.
So, like a troll is a social vandal.
So I think in that context, that what the person would be doing is they would be acting out of anger about a narrative in their head about their worth in society, because in that moment, the car represents people who have an established greater sense of worth in society, where society regards them higher or better than the person who's angry about it. And so they're attacking the narrative. They're attacking the idea that this person somehow merits better things in life, a better quality of life, more respect from society. And they're angry about how it makes them feel. And so they're attacking the car in order to attack the idea or the narrative that they feel offended by.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of like the subtext in the anime, which then later on continues in other ways. But the series doesn't completely go into one way or the other. It doesn't give you the answer of, is this person right about his opinion of the world, or is he wrong? Not in the beginning, at least.
I don't know. I'm inclined to think it's very like contextual. I generally think that like usually it's a bad thing. The problem is I don't like making categorical statements, because like I could see a context where trolling could be an expression of love and could serve a good purpose, but generally, like particularly like stabbing someone's tires, that almost kind of like, even I don't know. It's like almost at that point, it's just like I don't know, it's attacking someone or like I don't know, vandalism, like Chad says, or something. But yeah, definitely most times that seems like that kind of enjoyment of like. It's also I feel like there's a categorization that always goes with it. It's like anytime somebody's getting enjoyment, it's because they've like put someone in a box and they're getting one over on it or something like that, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan, you immediately kind of pinged it with like the point of this video, like gaslighting. So it would now be a good time, do you think, to play the video?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think it'll help us understand what you're thinking about it.
Even when somebody makes a
Can you hear
video,
it?
Yes.
even when somebody makes a video, let's say somebody records a YouTube video and says, I am a Zionist. I just tried to think about the most like inflammatory thing or something. I don't know. I won't believe that they're a Zionist until I meet them and they like demonstrate it. Or at least I'll try not to, because I do think that these, sometimes the person who is there in the silence is totally different than the impression that we get from them. And it's like, the guy is a human just like us, and it's like we all fuck up and we all imagine. I actually really think, man, we talk a lot about like annoying commenters on YouTube and like gaslighting commenters. I think equally as dangerous, like I think there might be bots that are just there to say, I love this so much, you helped me so much with this video, and that stuff makes you go crazy too, the gas, it's instead of gaslighting, it's like gassing you up,
My brain is like, I will take the compliments where I can get them. But also I don't I've only had one hater in the comments ever, so
It didn't have the little part where I said it's not gaslighting if you say you're gaslighting the person. I would also add that like if you make it clear that you're like, I actually made a video time once told gaslighting like a person's name, and it's not really gaslighting if you tell them that's what you're doing, because then you can just like from the beginning you could be like, all right, this person has stated that they're gaslighting me, I can just disregard everything you're saying or something. It's like, it's like how at the end when you're messing with someone, you might say, I'm just messing. You could also say it at the beginning. But I don't know.
James, what are you thinking?
Oh, I think there's many fine points being made, and I do appreciate the references to Jesus and to theologians to give examples of how sometimes certain kinds of interactions that we could classify as gaslighting, or excuse me, not gaslighting, as what's the word we're using here? Trolling, don't necessarily mean that there's ill intent or destructive behaviors or destructive consequences. Sometimes trolling people in a way that's just, or in other words, being antagonistic is towards a greater good and is coming from a place of love instead of hate. But since we are citing Jesus and theologians as part of the discussion, I'd like to cite Hitchens to give another kind of example of trolling that could be justified or rationalized at least. A famous quote from Hitchens says, "Mockery of religion is one of the most essential things." And he continues to explain what he means by that. One of the beginnings of human emancipation is the ability to laugh at authority. And so I know a lot of people that are religious would want to object to that, but imagine this is being said about a rival religion's claim of authority over you. Islam, for example, if you're a Christian, right? In the context of somebody who's an Islamicist coming up to you and trying to speak from a position of moral authority over you, sometimes it might seem insufficient to meet them where they're at and dignify the premise upon which they speak. And at some point, you might find that the best way to deflate the premise, to let them know that you're not going to take it seriously, is to mock the premise that they're standing upon.
Would you mind if I mocked the premise you're standing on?
Oh, please do. I'll enjoy it immensely.
Yeah, the thing about Hitchens is when Hitchens tries to be like cool or mocking, he just comes across as like a bitter,
nerd who has not faced his own despair. Like, he doesn't even have the like metaphysical or moral courage of a Nietzsche. So he kind of just has this like very weak faith in science and material objects. And then he basically steals and bootstraps the parts of Christianity he likes, and he disregards the rest because he thinks he's smarter than everybody who came before him. And so to quote him is kind of like partaking in those same sins. So it's kind of a silly thing.
No, I appreciate your perspective, and let's say I grant all that for the sake of argument. Hitchens is every bit everything that you just said. I would still say that the sentiment expressed is still valid on its own. If we say that we shouldn't consider the sentiment because we shouldn't consider the person, that's poisoning the well, right? That's literally an ad hom. So we can say that maybe Hitchens was crazy or dumb or whatever or infantile.
Well, yeah, so. I was mocking him. That was that was the action that was justified by his quote, was me mocking his foundations.
Oh, you're turning that back around on him. I appreciate that. I think touche, man, touche. Good job.
Well, there is an idea of nothing but wood and stone. This idea of destroying idols, erasing superstition. It's kind of a thing. So the thing is that its function is to remove the vestments of authority, but that doesn't mean that it's right. Anything can be mocked. That doesn't mean that the mocking is true. Maybe it's just that the person who is doing the mocking is more skilled in rhetoric, stuff like that.
Sure, absolutely. That's a valid point too. I myself don't like it when people speak up, when they step up to me on the premise of authority, like moral authority, because I feel like the entire premise of moral authority is a way of suppressing rational consideration. It's a way of saying, you owe it to me or you owe it to someone not to think too deeply about this, not to criticize it, not to reserve the right to criticize it. And I just feel like if we want to come to somebody with facts and logic and ethics or appeals to human experience, the best way, the most equitable way to do that is as an equal, as a human being on this earth. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we aren't invoking moral authority.
The way I think about this is the way that Steiner thought about it, which is the balance between the Luciferic and the Ahrimanic, such that the Luciferic would be the kind of rebellious aspect, which is more so about freedom and personal liberty, as it were, and personal artistry also. But you can go too hard to that one side where it's like, skeptical to the degree where you think all of reality is like a matrix that we have to escape or something. That's the kind of the Luciferic Gnostic thinking. But nonetheless, there is also a sense in which that inclination is like essential insofar as we do get trapped in certain of our own mental matrices, and that we have to break out of them at times. And I think kind of the same thing would go. It's hard to articulate the other side, but I would say it would be more so like about the codified traditions or habits. Like some of those are essential, but also if you go too far into that blind repetition of the past and stuff, then that can be very bad.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It reminds me of my favorite quote, which is "Seek balance in all things."
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this like kind of way of this bipolar. I don't know if it's bipolar or what do you call it, like the multipolar or something, like where it's all about kind of the balance, and you can go too far to one side, too far to the other side. I don't know. It just makes sense to me. Like, I don't know. Some people get picky about it, but I don't know. But then a lot of times those same people, if you ask them to say what's the difference between Satan and Lucifer, they don't really have an answer, And yeah. I don't know. I highly recommend like the Steiner looking into it. I know a lot of people don't. But anyway, yes, I will stop my ramble.
No, it's all great and all great commentary, and I appreciate that. I also appreciate, is it Teo or Tayo? I appreciate their comments over there in chat.
Oh, what was Tayo saying?
Well, they've been saying funny and insightful things throughout, but that was their most recent statement.
I don't know how you guys can keep up on the chat while you do this.
Well, I have a lot of experience with that. I read all the chat whenever I do live streams, so I get practice.
Yeah, I always find it impressive. Grimgriz is like freaking legend in this regard. It's crazy.
Your comment about balance reminded me of probably original McMo quote that balance in all things, even in balance.
Yeah,
and that is
no. Well, we don't do that.
Don't overdo balance.
Don't quote me. Don't quote me on my own stream, Joe. You're gonna make me blush. Good grief.
You weren't gonna do it, but I remember it when he said it.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to hear what Chad has to say.
Well, I'm just playing guitar, man. Just doing a little bit of blues jamming. You want to hear it? That's cool.
Yes.
You guys, okay.
You kind of gave me an idea. Because you said before about the function of trolling. And now that I think about it, wasn't just like an official office at times, and that's what the Jester did, right? He mocked.
Yeah. That's very
or something like that.
Yeah.
I love how it seemed for a moment that Nico was providing the lyrics for Chad's song.
Great. This is what the musicality of the language. I believe that was about this. I'm not sure if you knew, James. I have a channel. There's currently some copyright issues, perhaps a misidentification. It's a long story. The person said they were working to fix it, but it's still in the process. But I made a whole bunch of over 1,000 clips, people with music, talking with music, and I like it. Primarily because I like the medium. I like when people talk when there's music. Because sometimes it really is crazy how people it's perfect.
Yeah.
Not just because of that, yeah.
You're tempting me really hard to play some branding. Really hard. Joe, I feel like I might have cut you off. Did you have anything else to say?
Holy shit, I just looked up and my wife was standing right there. It scared the shit out of me. Talk about trolling me. Holy shit.
She scared you while you're looking like that? I'm surprised you didn't scare her, dude.
She's gone.
Oh, he wears that to bed every night.
Yeah, that's his he wears that out. He's in witness protection, actually, is what I heard. That's why he has to be a little cagey about his identity. But yeah, got into some bad stuff over on the East Coast, had to kind of travel nondescript town in the Midwest, and he's on the lam basically, but with the government backing because it's witness protection. And it's funny to me because every time people get talking about, I've listened to so many of these conversations. Well, somebody will say something a slightly conspiratorial or a little bit out there, and then basically the other person will be like, well, people aren't good at keeping secrets, so why would this be any different? And then I always have to say, well, what about witness protection? Like if there's witness protection, that means that there's people keeping secrets all the time.
I don't think it was the East Coast. I think it was the North Pole. It's a really meta disguise because no one would ever suspect that Santa is somebody wearing a Santa disguise.
That's it. You nailed it. I didn't want to say it, but I think you've nailed it.
This is my other disguise. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me play. I was just okay. Let me just say one thing real quick before I go up, because I'm gonna leave. Like the idea of trolling, and I just don't see the point. I just don't. It's just like especially like when, or even like the mocking thing that you did there. It was like, why? Because people can go in circles forever. And so what is the point of it? I don't understand sometimes. Like, is it just to show like how big my intellectual dong is compared to yours? I don't get it. Like, that's all. And I think the only troll I find acceptable actually is Yon God. He's my favorite troll because he's actually he's quite a softie. So
I'm generally
all right,
with you. Like, trolling no good, but I could see like a case where it could be where, you know, like I would generally feel with Chad, like trolling, you know, not a big fan of the trolls, especially when there's like you can't know who it is, you know, like, but at the same time, I could see cases where it could be a good thing, you know. I try not to troll personally unless I'm, you know, it's spirit of love.
In the corner has been swamped with a
mind control.
Mind control. Mind control. Mind control.
Receiving throws for mind control. So this is how bad I have failed. Receiving.
I understand you have respect for serious play. Yes, I have a ritual with my channel where like reminding fish that they're in water. I remind people that there's a lot of mind control out there, even if you just consider advertising.
So this is how bad I have failed.
I give you a savings throw against the mind control I use against you. So A, you know I'm using it against you, and if it works, I get more points. And B, you get the chance to resist. You base your resistance on your choice between your will to survive, your social networks, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart.
Mind control will continue in a moment.
That's right, folks. If you want to end the trolls, all the evil that's going on out there in the internet, you know what you need to do. Donate to my Ko-Fi. It's the only way, folks. It's the only way. And we do have another guest.
Hey.
Howdy.
Welcome. Oh,
full screen.
Wait. You guys know the rules. We got sunglasses.
Spring is in the air. And as such, it's time for us to start scouting out your local state park to see if it's a suitable site for a campfire potluck campfire estuary potluck. Yeah. Is that what we're calling it? We're doing campfire estuary potlucks this season, leading up to the one in August, the big event thing. So in between now and August, go scout out your nearby state park and get back to us if it's a good location for an estuary campfire potluck.
Woo! Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I plan to go to many of these, along with Joe and Griggers.
Yeah. So trolling, ladies and gentlemen, the important aspect about trolling is that like you need it, like a good troll is one that lets the noobs coming in from just TV into this interactive realm know that there can be like maleficent people. Not everybody's an innocent attendee like themselves. So they but on a more serious note, the trolling can be to distract whatever you guys are talking about from where some agency doesn't want it. And like there are professionals and bots designed to, control narratives, and it's not just little pissant autists measuring their epine, although a lot of it is little pissant autists measuring their epine. So, but there's more to it than that. And over at the Discord, we look into the defense against the dark arts as if this is a room of requirement we have found ourselves in.
Yeah, well said. I think that's a good point as well. Little trial by fire, as it were, kind of. I remember getting
Mo just like
green
runs, lets me like not even here, not even here now.
I've got
What would
I
be
can read this quote that Upcycle mentioned this guy in chat, and so I looked him up, and he's got a pretty sweet quote, and I'm gonna read it now. Oh wait, I should tell you his name. His name is H.L. Mencken. The men the American people admire most extravagantly are the most daring liars. The men they detest most violently are those who try to tell them the truth. Additionally, he commented, the whole aim of practical politics is to keep the populace alarmed, and hence clamorous to be led to safety, by menacing it with an endless series of hobgoblins, all of them imaginary.
Hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins.
See, all those of us familiar with Dungeons and Dragons know that while menacing, trolls can regenerate, which is what makes them worse than hobgoblins. Hey guys, look, it's Teo Falele in the box to my right here.
Welcome.
Yo. Okay, so I was thinking, Grizz, you said something, troll.
God, yo, is he saying anything?
Yes.
What's up?
Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Grizz, you said something like the troll, a good troll, does online anyway, helps the noobs to understand that there are dragons in this arena.
Like when I before Pastor Paul gave me the PVK bump and told people to watch my channel, I was trolling him and Peugeot and Verveki hard, like making funny videos about that's amore and that's agape. It was a lovingly trolling John Verveki because he's adorable to me for some reason, but it was still trolling. So I think that I was a good and noble troll, but most of the time when the trolls are doing it for their own edification, you have less. It's a little dirtier.
If the troll does, I'm guessing the troll does this by LARPing as a dragon to sort of train or give perspectival knowledge to the noob of what a dragon might look like. And if that's true, then there will be trolls LARPing dragons because they enjoy being dragons, not because they're trying to do the noble thing of warn of real dragons. And
I felt like that way when back in the day when Paul was warming up. I'm like, oh, this pastor's about to run into the internet, and like so far it seems like it's mostly only happened to Sherry and Chad, but that's exactly the sort of thing I was concerned about happening so I wanted to let them know they were being watched and made fun of, or it was like a heads up I could give them.
Yeah, but that, in any case, it's a defense against real trolls.
Yeah, just like heads up.
Dragon burns you.
I mean, well, it's also kind of a symbolic. It's a. I don't see any like big trolls. Like they're human beings, and I think that there's no like codified, certified, went to troll school. Like people do trolling things, and like, I don't know, I could see. Yeah, I really think it's circumstantial. Like we can't say that this is all the time good or bad. And
Oh
and
yeah,
when it comes to
autistic
like,
people troll on accident all the time.
yeah, I was just about to say that kind of thing as well, where it's like one person's trolling might be another person's. Like me, for example, if I show you a video of natural disasters and how these might happen, you might conceive of that as trolling, but that's not how I conceive. Like I don't know, just as an example. Yeah.
So, Nico, you're saying in the context that I laid out, the dragon is the actual troll.
No, that I don't think a dragon works as a metaphor for someone who is screwing with you. The dragon doesn't screw with you; it just eats you. It's a dragon would be like a DDoS attack or something like that.
Yeah.
The dragon is the human traffickers in the chat.
Yeah, I think we can all nod in agreement that those are dragons.
Yeah, you need some legendary knight or something to fight against something like that. But in any case, you could think about that as a play fighting as opposed to real fighting. It's a play is a preparation for real life.
This is real life. That's why you should donate to McMo's Ko-Fi.
That's exactly right, folks. That's exactly right. And that's the perfect time for me to interject and go ahead and put the banner on the bottom of the screen. It's that time, folks. My wife is done with work. It's time for final thoughts. We'll start with Nico, then Joe, then Jonathan, then Grim Grizz, the General, and then James, and then Tayo.
Okay, so I go first. So I'm open to the idea of trolling for good, but I still don't have like a concise picture of what does that look like. I'm open to someone telling me what that is in the future.
Joe Man. Final thoughts, good sir.
Like most things, I would say it's like contextual. And oh wait, are we? I guess that's my final thoughts because I didn't really. Whatever. I'll just say this. Most things are contextual. So like as with trolling, and so it depends on the spirit within which you do it. So like and you can't through text is like a terrible medium to communicate like anything, which is why you should join a Discord, Grim Grizzlies perhaps, and voice chat or video chat and do stuff like that. And yeah, so I don't know. I guess that's
Get involved, participate, be known. Don't troll in the darkness. Join an army of trolls and troll for righteousness. I love it. Joe, thanks for being here today. I'm going to remove you from stage, and then we will have Jonathan. You're up next.
I just was reminded of how there's also trolling in a boat. Don't they troll nets? Wonder if there's something going on there. And then the other thing I heard, I forget who it was, but somebody mentioned how the jester, like this is kind of the role of a jester in a sense. And as we all know from Peugeot, the jester has its important place in the castle, as it were. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, interesting exploration of this mystical apophatic word, which we can never precisely pin down. Wonderful.
Well said. Thanks, brother. Graham, you're up, sir.
Rejoice, although this world may devastate you.
Well, Tayo, it's now your responsibility to follow that, I guess.
God save the king.
And the king, that's the Lord Jesus Christ himself. That's something Tayo won't tell you. Well, thanks so much for hanging out. I'll send you away with the beat we made today.
So I think in that context that what the person would be doing is they would be acting out of anger about a narrative. A lot can be said about conviction, not arrogance, society, but you have to have a conviction to grow your destiny. I was reading about that this morning, coincidentally, about the star people. The star people have like ascended beings, the transformers of consciousness, bringing new ideas, visions, and solutions to inspire artists, musicians to elevate, transform the human consciousess to a higher state. They serve as conduits, mediums, and channels. They have special gifts and heavenly powers. Everyone's imbued with that, but I think that if you're not careful, the world will program you to be less than that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everyone's got it. We're all born with it. And some of us just get it being mad at us, unfortunately.
These subjects in there. Which then later on continues in another way. But the series doesn't completely go into one way or the other. It doesn't give you the answer. If this person right about his opinion of the world, or is he wrong? Not in the beginning, at least. I think it's very contextualized, and I think that usually it's a bad thing. The problem is that no one can
What is intelligence?
could be an expression of purpose, but only, particularly establishing these times that
What is intelligence? What do you think is intelligent? The meaning of that word, if you looked into a good dictionary, etymological dictionary, it points out interleggering, to read between the lines. You understand? There is a space between the two lines. To read between the lines.
I mean, Jonathan,
that's one meaning. The other meaning is to gather information of every kind and to discern among the various information what is the correct information. That depends on choice, on one's education, on one's way of life, and so on.
Yes.
So there is the intelligence, there is the intelligence of the body, No? Am I talking to my ear joint together? There's the intelligence of the body to let it alone. Not take a lot of wine, alcohol, drugs, and live according to taste, sensation. Then the body loses its own intelligence. The body is an extraordinary instrument.
Get to that. signing off.
As we always are blessed, and the coming of our Savior Jesus Christ.